I want to get real with you guys for a second. I'm not asking for feedback. I don't need feedback. I just kind of want to vent. I've been in the oil and gas sector since I was 15. My mom's husband was a consultant, and during the summer, he brought me out as a laborer, and I just shoveled dirt on a lease for a summer. Made 18 bucks an hour, and that was good money. When I was done high school, I wanted to join the Canadian Army. I wanted to be an infantry. That was something I wanted my entire childhood. And looking back at it, I know that it had a lot to do with the childhood traumas that I experienced. I wanted to know that people could depend on me. I wanted to know that people relied on me. I wanted a sense of brotherhood. That's what I wanted. I applied for the Army. My application went through, but then it got denied because I had food allergies. Being celiac, they couldn't guarantee what I was going to eat out in the field. And that kind of sucked for a little while because I had spent all this time mentally preparing myself for what I wanted, and that was the route I wanted to go down. Fast forward, scaffolding ended up happening, and I fell head over heels in love with it. I was brought into the pulp mills, and it was militant, it was fast paced, it was a sense of brotherhood that I never had in my life before, and the people that I worked with made it so much better. And I was hooked on that, and I stayed with that for about 12, now going 13 years, and I absolutely loved it. That being said though, I'm at a point in my life, I'm 31 years old, so I'm still pretty young, but I'm also at that point in my life where I'm questioning things like, do I want this to be my life? Do I want this to be everything I'm doing? And I have days where, no. I have weeks or stretches of periods of time that stretch on and on and on. And a little bit more lately where I don't know if this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I enjoy scaffolding. It's a lot of fun. I love building it. I love the problem solving. I love the ability that I have to think so far ahead and plan ahead for what I need to do to help other trades and build an efficient and clean scaffold. I enjoy that. But then I have moments where maybe I get a little depressed and I'm just like, is this what my life is gonna be? Camp room after camp room, hotel job after hotel job, renting rooms out and chasing money. And that doesn't bother me so much. I think I'm very used to it. But there's a part of my brain that's wired to think that there's more to life for me than just this. Maybe it is a different trade. Maybe it's a whole different field of work altogether. And I can't help but to think that there's more. And I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if that thought process is normal. I hit waves where I have lots of motivation and ambition, and then I kind of drop down and I'm just like, oh, man, what am I doing? Why am I here? Why am I doing this to myself? And it sounds ridiculous saying it out loud. There are times where I feel like a hamster on a wheel, and that wheel just keeps doing loop after loop after loop, or I feel like I'm in the middle of the ocean. My head is just bobbing, and there's nothing, and no one around as far as the eye can see. Then there's other times where I don't feel like that, but it comes in waves. I think for a lot of us that are in the oil and gas sector, or a lot of us that are tradesmen, we've become very set in ways where we know what we're going to get paid on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis. We're familiar, and because we're so familiar with what we know, we're scared of change, and the idea of change literally rocks us to our very core. At least for myself, I can say that. I know what kind of work I'm going to do and what kind of working conditions I have, because I've done it for so long and I'm used to it. But the idea of starting over with a new trade and taking a pay cut is scary. The idea of going into a different line of work and failing at it and thinking that I won't be able to do that terrifies me. And I think because of certain factors like that, I have allowed myself to stay in a safety net, which is the line of work I'm in. And that's probably why I don't make a change. I also know that this is what I'm used to. This is what I'm familiar with. What I'm trying to get at is, if anyone else feels this way, just want to let you know, like, you're not the only one. I have this thought a lot of the time. And I sit here and I think, what would I do differently? I don't see myself in an office setting. I really don't. It's not for me. I like working with my hands. I like problem solving. I do enjoy the trades, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I just wish though life was a little more simple and I could just have a little farm and some animals and that was it. It might sound ridiculous. Sometimes that's all it is for me. But I don't know if any of that made sense. I just kind of wanted to vent, get it off my chest. That's it. Take care.